Okay, so the paper that we'll be attempting today is March 2022, paper 120606. Obviously has the same syllabus as 4037. So nothing changes, but this is a special paper that is just carried out in India. Baki, the entire syllabus is the same. So yeah, so just
Yes, sir.
some big questions. So the question says find the value of k such that the line y is equals to 9kx plus 1 does not meet the curve y is equals to kx square plus 3x 2k plus 1 plus 4. By reading the question, I understand that because the line does not meet the curve, that means that if I solve these two equations simultaneously, I must not get any solution whatsoever. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
First thing that we'll do is we'll try to solve them simultaneously, and they are already given as y is equal to, so we can just substitute one of the equations in the other one. 9.
Yes. Sir, can we use x's value to substitute?
Yes, but understand, if you make x the subject of the formula, use the linear one. Okay. Even if you do that, then you will put it over here as well and over here as well. And how complicated it will become for you. You'll have to square it. So please be
Yes,
smart
sir.
while attempting questions or while attempting exams. Please be smart about your steps. It's not give you have to get to the answer one way or the other. You have to get to the answer, but you have to be smart about it as well. One important trait of acing the exam is you need to have the presence of mind. Say, do not underestimate the power of presence of mind. So yeah. So now I know that, again, the question says that if I solve them simultaneously, I must not get any solution, right? 9kx plus 4 minus 1 is 0. So kx
Yes, sir.
plus 3x, if I take 3x is common, I am left with 2k plus 1 minus 3k. Did you see what did I do? Out of these two terms, I took 3x is common, right? So if I'm taking 3x common from this one as well, I'm left with minus 3k, and plus 3 is 0. So kx square plus 3x, and then it is 1 minus k plus 3 is 0. I know that I must get values for which I do not get any solution to this particular equation. Why? If the solution to this particular equation will give me the points of intersection, and the question say that it must not intersect it, that means that this
Yes,
equation
sir.
will not give me any solution. And if a quadratic equation has to result in not giving me any solution, what can I say about
Discriminant should be less than 0.
it? Bilkul, it's pure logic, nothing to memorize here, right?
Yes, sir.
We know under root ke andar if we get a negative value, then there is no particular solution. So I can say that the discriminant has to be less than 0. Now I get an inequality. What is b? B is the coefficient of x. So please be careful with this. What is your value of b? You can also take x is common and you'll get 3 minus 3k squared minus 4. A is k and c is 3. Is that right? अच्छा, मैंने यहाँ कॉलम बना लिया, but once you're solving it, you do it in one single line. तमीज से left पे line up करके you solve this entire thing. ठीक है? So what do you get when you square it? 9 minus 2 3s are 6, 6 3s are 18k plus 9k square minus 12k has to be less than 0. Then 9k square minus 12k. Okay, let's simplify this. Minus 30k plus 9 is less than 0. If I take 3 as common, then I'm left with 3k square minus 10k. Now this is the quadratic inequality. 3k square minus 9k minus k plus 3 is less than 0. And I'm left with 3k, k minus 3 minus 1, k minus 3. Now this is a quadratic inequality. K minus 3, 3k minus 1 less than 0. How do we solve quadratic inequalities? We sketch the shape. This will be a happy face. It will give me two critical values, k as 3 and k as 1 over 3. Now less than 0, that means trace the solution and we will end up getting k as this. Is this clear? What
Simplify.
No, we do not have to simplify. No, wrong. Simplify me. We do not have to simplify in this one. Read the question.
Solve the equation.
Solve.
Uh,
What does solve mean?
find the value for.
Unknown. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Solve means finding the value of the unknown. So we can use the quadratic formula to solve the value of the unknown.
Yes,
Again,
sir.
have to be very careful with using the values. अच्छा नीचे इसमें अब आएगा हमारे पास.
Sir, can we use the quadratic formula? Because we cannot use a calculator.
Yes, obviously we can use the quadratic formula without using the calculator. Can't we square? Can't we add? Can't we subtract? Can't we find roots on our own?
Yes, sir, we can.
There is no other way. You cannot do middle term breaking with this one at least. So yeah. So minus b. What is your value of b?
Yes, sir.
Square root of 3 plus 5. Please, this is very basic algebra. When you're plugging in values, please do use brackets. So yeah, it's not कि I'll use the brackets in my head and that is enough. No, you have to show the usage, appropriate usage of brackets. एक ही जगह हम लिखेंगे 3 minus 5 square root of 3 and then plus minus square root of b square 2 square root of 3 plus 5 square. We have to be very careful with this one. It's not a difficult one, but हमारे जल्दबाजी लिखने का error might lead to loss of lots of marks in this one. ठीक है? So you just have
Yes,
to
sir.
be a little careful here कि किस तरीके से काम कर रहा है. अभी तो हमने सिर्फ इसको तमीज से लिख दिया. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that's right.
So this is 6 minus 10 square root 3. अगर कैंसिल करना होगा तो देख लेंगे हम. चलो इसको फिलहाल ऐसे ही रखते हैं. We will expand it if needed. दोबारा कॉमन कर. Okay. So minus 2 square root of 3 minus 5 plus minus square root of. Can you square it inside this one? What do you get when you square this? A square.
Sir,
2
you
square
get
3 का square plus 2ab 2 into 2 square root of 3 into 5 plus 5 का square. ठीक है,
plus
so
25.
लगा है. ठीक है ना? And then what should
Yes,
you
sir.
do? Plus minus और उसको multiply करो, you get plus 4 and then you multiply plus
Plus
4 with the brackets. सही है? So you get plus 12 plus 4 5s are 20 root 3. But carefully we must write down these values. 2 bracket 3 minus 5 square root of 3 and minus 2 root 3 and minus 5 plus minus square root of this is 2 ka square 4 4 3s are 12 plus 10 20 root 3 minus 20 root 3 1 plus 4 over 20 root 3 plus 25 plus 12 minus 20 root 3. Right now we haven't used a calculator in any of these steps. 3 minus 5 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 3 minus 5 plus minus. What am I left with inside the under root? 20 root 3, 20 root 3 cancelled out. 12 and 12 is 24 plus 25.
424 plus is 49, which
Now,
is 7.
which is again, मैं यही बात कहता हूँ. Do not skip this step. Write it down. How long will it take you? सही है, तो परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं. Write down these steps in order to avoid error. I've been telling you from the very first day, but we do many steps not because we need them. We do many steps because we want to avoid error. Is that right? X is
Yes, sir.
minus 2 square root of 3 minus 5 minus 7 2 bracket 3 minus 5 square root of 3. Okay. Now we simplify, and what do we get? Minus 2 common ले लेते हैं. And we are left with minus square root of 3 plus 1. Then इसको 1 minus square root of 3 लिखता हूँ. Into 3 minus 5 square root. So let's just solve one of these first. 2 or 2 cancel okay, and I get 1 minus square root of 3. 3 minus 5 square root of 3. Now what do we do? You're not supposed to leave the answer like this. What do we do now? We'll rationalize
Yes, sir. We did.
by the
So 3 plus 5 under root 3.
multiply. आराम से use brackets.
Yes, sir.
A square 3 का square minus 5 square root of 3 का square. ये तो एंड ऊपर करेंगे तो पहले 1 को लेट्स मल्टीप्लाई 3 plus 5 root 3 minus 3 root 3, then minus 5 3s are 15. So what do you get in the denominator? 9 minus 25 3s are 75. And in the
So
numerator,
12 minus plus 2 upon 3 on the in the numerator.
we get 2 square root of 3 minus 12. So when we subtract,
Yes, sir. You will get negative 64. No, 66, sorry.
2 square root of 3 minus 12. So let's simplify to do it without using your calculator.
So we can divide everything by 2.
So what do we get?
So under root is 6 upon under root upon negative 33.
अलग-अलग करके लिखते हैं because that is how the question wanted us. The minus 12 over minus 66 plus 2 square root of 3 over minus 66. So x
So
is,
why don't we simplify? Yes, sir.
we are simplifying. 2 6 से करते हैं 2 over 11 minus square root of 3 over 33. सही है? And similarly in this one as well, numerator we'll get maybe 2 common ले लेते हैं, we are left with minus square root of 3 minus 6, and नीचे we get 2 3 minus 5 square root of 3. If we want to cancel it out, minus 3 minus square root of 3 minus 6, 3 minus 5 square root of 3. We already know what the denominator will end up. We'll end up with, so we'll not waste our time over there. We already know that the denominator will end up being minus 66. We'll just focus on the numerator. Minus 3 को दोनों से करते हैं, minus 3 root 3 and minus 5 3s are 15. Minus 6 into 3 is minus 18, and minus 6 5s are 30. So when I write them separately, minus 66 and I get minus 33. And here I get minus 33 root 3 over minus 66. So x is 1 over 2 half plus half root 3. This is what we should end up with. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, in these questions, A is vertical amplitude होता है, C is the line which acts as the x-axis. So दोनों की वजह से how आप कितना ग्राफ ऊपर कितना ऊपर जाता है कितना नीचे जाता है I have no idea right now. But period का ताल्लुक सिर्फ B से है. We use period to find B. And how do we find period? For sine and cos हम 2 pi upon B कह देते हैं. The question gave us the period which is 16 pi. 2 pi and B की जगह B ही है इत्तेफाक से. So what is your value of B? 2 pi upon 16 pi. And the value of B is 1 over 8. Is this clear?
Yes, that's clear.
Okay, now ये तो B आ गया. Now we can just plug in the remaining values. Y की जगह if I put in 11, and I'll say is equals to A sine, I already know, B is 1 over 8 times x की जगह I'll put in 4 pi plus C. Can you put this value in your calculator and tell me what do you get? वैसे भी देख लोगे तो sin pi upon 2 आएगा which is 1. So this equation becomes 11 is equals to A plus C.
Yes, sir.
Do it yourself, use your calculator, tell me do you get the same thing or not? A sine 1 over 8 times minus 4 pi by 3 plus C. Make sure your calculator is in radians. So this is one of the equations that we get.
Yes, sir.
And what about the next one? Can you find this value using your calculator and tell me what do you get?
Sir, negative 1 upon 6 pi.
Sine negative 1 upon 6 pi. पूरा sine के साथ बताओ ना बेटा. This is
Okay, sir.
typical value. Half, negative half. Right?
Yes, sir, negative 1 upon 2.
You can solve
So I
these.
was getting a different answer because of degrees.
So you must check your calculator that your calculator is in the right mode. When you're dealing with angles such as in terms of pi, your calculator must be in radians for majority of, well, not for majority, for the entire differentiation, integration, or even kinematics, your calculator must always be in radians. So can you
Yes,
solve
sir.
these two simultaneously and tell me the value of C and A? ऊपर वाले से C को separate बना लो, that is an easier one. So C becomes 11 minus A. I'll put it in the second one. Or you can use elimination as well. Plus 11 minus A. Minus 6 is minus 3A upon 2. A is 4, I believe. Similarly, C is 11 minus 4. So C is 7.
Yes, sir.
If you're getting otherwise, or if you're unable to understand anything, please let me know.
So I'm getting the same answer.
Good. Now for the next one, using your answer to part A. So we have figured out the values of A, B, and C. So
Sir, in the paper, I know how to do the question, but I'm unable to understand the logic of the question.
why? Because I don't think you have any issue with English comprehension, right?
So can you please repeat, your voice is lagging?
I was saying that I hope you have no issues with comprehending basic English, right?
Yes, sir, I don't.
Yes, so you must not, इतना मसला नहीं होना चाहिए फिर.
No, sir, I get confused with if I should apply this or that.
That's
For
what I'm
example, in
saying,
the
that those
area under the
confusions
graph,
can, those
I
confusions
was trying to
don't,
apply circular measurement. Yes,
वो भी
sir.
तो बता रहा हूँ ना, those confusions can be overcome when you practice a lot. उसके लिए there is no other way. You are very well aware of the concept. Once you start practicing, you do many questions. ये नहीं कि you just do one or a couple of questions and expect yourself to be an expert at any particular topic. You must do multiple questions to help you gain confidence so that when you sit in the paper, you are sure कि हाँ इसमें तो यही करते हैं. Like if you have to find area between a graph, so you know कि I'll integrate. Simple as that. Students get
Yes,
so
sir.
habitual to integrating that even if it's a straight line, it's a trapezium, they still try to integrate and get that area, even if it could be found in other ways as well. सही है. So इतना बच्चों की practice हो जाती है and it gets on their fingertips के if they just look at the question and they know what to do. But that requires practice. You just can't expect to do 5, 10 questions and be an expert at any topic, especially hard maths. सही है. Okay, now let's have a look at this one. Using an answer to find the coordinates of the minimum point on the curve for 0 to 16 pi. So 0 to 16 pi tak, I know I will have one entire cycle of sine. Is that right?
Sir, can you please explain sine equation of sine, cos, and tan?
Yes, I have already explained it. पहले सवाल करते हैं, then I'll get back to you on that one
Yes,
as well.
sir.
Say, तो इसको हमने क्या कहा? 4
Amplitude,
sine.
period.
Amplitude is 4, right?
Yes, sir.
I already know that 16 pi it is supposed to make one complete cycle. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And 7 is supposed to act as the x-axis. ऐसा ही है?
Yes, sir.
So just by visualizing this, I'll show you. You can see the screen. I already know this is the curve of sine. The period is 16 pi. I'm not even sketching it, but this is something that will come with practice. 16 pi is the period. 7 is acting as the x-axis. And 4 is my amplitude. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So 4 or 4 niche. The question is asking about the minimum point. 16 pi, I can do 4 divisions. This will be 8 pi. If I wanted the maximum point, 8 pi ko bhi aada karo, I would have had to go to 4 pi, 4 pi, 8 pi, and then 12 pi. So what will be the minimum point? 12 pi, comma, 7 se 4 units. If I go down, where do I end up? 3. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So the minimum point is 12 pi, comma, same curve that you just drew here. You can draw that curve over there, and that will help you get your method mark. Is this clear?
Yes, sir. That's clear.
Another way to do it was through differentiation, like that would have been a lengthier method. This is a shorter, specific method that you can get your answers with. Okay, for this one as well, partial fractions. Show that these two fractions can be written as a single fraction like this. Yes, what will we do in this one? Question is asking me to show that these two fractions can be written. Simply take an LCM. So 1 will multiply by 2x minus 1 and 4 will be as it is.
Yes, sir.
So 2x minus 1 squared and 2x minus 1 plus 4 is plus 3. Makes sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Now, in the second part, the question wants us to integrate this and apply these limits. How can we integrate this? Can we? Have you studied any product or quotient rule for integration?
Yes, sir.
For integration?
Product rule for integration, no.
No. So how do you integrate these? दो functions again, they are dividing. So do not even think of कि मैं इसको ऊपर ले जाऊंगा और कर लूंगा नहीं. These are two functions.
सर ln नीचे लगा दें वो
नहीं हो
and then
सकता.
ऊपर.
We do not have फिर इसको quadratic का उसका derivative वो नहीं है. That is not in that particular case. There is a reason उसने part A में ये वाला काम हमसे कराया है. In place of this, can I split it into the two fractions? Can I do that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now I can integrate it. ये तो ln वाले से होगा. What about this 4 into 2x minus 1 का power negative 2?
And say even though you're not able, if you're not able to do part A, you still use the value
Yes,
from part A, right?
yes. Obviously, we can do that. Use the answer we already know. So to get again, यहाँ 2 है. I need a 2 over here. I do not have a 2 over here. If I take a 2 over there and divide by 2, तो what do I get? इसका इंटीग्रल क्या आएगा मेरे पास? Half ln of 2x minus 1. Is that right? Plus इसका इंटीग्रल क्या आएगा? 4 2x minus 1. 1 increase in the power makes it negative 1. Divide by the increased power, divide by the derivative. Upper limit is 5, lower limit is 2. So first simplify half ln 2x minus 1. And then this becomes 2 or 4. We cancel. Okay, minus 1 upon 2x minus 1. Upper limit is 5 and the lower limit is 2. So first plug in the upper limit first, half ln of 2 5s are 10 minus 1 9 minus 1 upon 2 5s are 10 minus 1 9 minus in the lower limit half 2 2s are 4 minus 3 ln 3 minus 2 2s are 4 minus 1 is 3 1 over. Okay, obviously you can use your calculator. Half ln 9 minus half ln 3 minus 1 over 9 plus 1 over 3. So just use your calculator. 1 over 3 minus 1 over 9. What does it give you? 2 over 9. और यहाँ से मैं अगर हाफ कॉमन ले लूँ तो आई एम लेफ्ट विद ln 9 minus ln 3 plus 2 over 3. So half, and I get ln. If logs are subtracting, their inputs can divide, right?
Yes, sir.
So this becomes half ln 3 plus 2 over 3. The question does not want us to have a coefficient with this. तो इसको पावर बना देते हैं, कोई मसला नहीं है. तो 2 over 3 plus ln 3 की पावर है. Is this what you're getting? Obviously, you can use your calculator to figure out the answer.